1/27/12 email from DOHARA. I would have no way of knowing that. After the last HSB meeting 1/17, I witnessed Mr. Dumont screaming, ranting, and raving at a parent in the Colley parking. Several parents were at the other end of the parking lot helping a parent whose car would not stop. After several minutes of hearing Mr. Dumont scream at the parent, it appeared to be escalating. Another parent and I decided to walk toward the two people, hoping that Mr. Dumont would stop if he saw others in the parking lot. It seemed to exasperate the situation. It was hard to understand everything that Mr. Dumont was saying, but as we walked up to the situation, Mr. Dumont was screaming at the parent, "You think your children are better than everyone else's?" And the parent was calmly saying, "That is not what I'm saying, Tricia." HSB member reached Mr. Dumont, and the parent at the same time I did. She encouraged Mr. Dumont to leave, but he would not. I said his behavior was not appropriate for an HSB member, and he screamed that he resigned and was now a private citizen that could say whatever the expletive he wanted to, and he was going to. He looked at me and said in a very creepy way, you don't even know what you've gotten yourself into. You're just here because you didn't like the HSB's decision." He was in it for his son at Colley. I asked him to leave, and he said no. I said I would call the police, and he said he didn't care. He alluded to the fact that he had a connection. I think that is what he was saying. At that time, the first parent he was yelling at was able to get in his car and leave, and the others walked away. His behavior is unacceptable and dangerous. Losing control in a dark parking lot and verbally attacking parents is not right even for private citizens. Luckily, other parents were still there to help defuse the situation or at least prevent Mr. Dumont from physically hurting anyone. I urge you to educate the board members that this belief that he could resign from the board, become a private citizen, and say whatever he wanted, including screaming at a parent for several minutes, is not acceptable. It certainly brings up concerns about HSB members being entrusted with very private information about students requesting reassignment. Can we trust these people with this information? In healthcare, there is a HIPAA law. We are all familiar with it, and it protects our private health information. What does the school system have in place to protect students that extends to school board members while they are serving and after they resign? I would like to commend Tricia for calmly trying to redirect Mr. Dumont and for offering help, to the parent whose car would not start. She showed professionalism and compassion in a very stressful situation. In my response, I will ask the administration to investigate policies and procedures covering confidentiality as it relates to the current and past board members. Now, I know we take an oath when we become school board members, and I have to believe that confidentiality, there's obviously some civil liability. But my question is there anything beyond that?
Want to help a little bit? I think that the question, I thought I heard you mention HIPAA. And HIPAA in the medical profession is a federal statute that prohibits people who have information about a person's medical condition, history, and so forth from divulging that. In education, we have FERPA, which is the Family Educational Rights Protection Act. So FERPA is the HIPAA of school records. So if a school board member or anyone else who is part of the school district organization was to improperly release confidential information about a youngster, that would be a violation of federal law. Just like medical information, if you were a doctor or a nurse or so forth, would be a violation of HIPAA, federal law. So federal law rules. It's serious stuff.
Okay.